Hey, and welcome to Tech Tips with Sold Out Media. I'm Amanda.
I'm Jacob.
And today we actually have a brand new product from Osee, the GoStream.
The GoStream Deck.
The GoStream Deck, yeah. And these guys actually are already in the market making HDR monitors and different screens that you can buy, but now they've broken into the mixer board market.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I was so impressed when I saw this. This reminded me, as soon as I took it out of the box, of the ATEM Mini and the Mini Pro ISO lineup. But it has so much more going on. Once I started looking more at it, it actually reminded me of this. This is our Panasonic MX70. And this is, even in the day when we were using super long, giant Ross mixer boards and Grass Valley mixer boards for sports and conferences and concerts with hundreds of camera inputs in it, this was still a high valued item if you had these, because they could do so much. They have the audio in them, they have all your graphics in them. You can do like downstream key and fade, you can do chroma key and everything. Be it though, chroma key was really sketchy.
Very sketchy.
Back then. But you could luma key stuff. And this was such a powerful tool, especially if you had small remote studios that were doing like news hits. We did our TV bingo with this. We were able to cut from having like a full crew to having one guy using this and having all the effects programmed into it to do that program. But this is this machine, but
in this size.
Yeah, granted, this doesn't do 1080. This did 576, 480 by 640 in America. But this guy here can do all that this does better.
Yep.
And more powerful.
That's right.
Just as a mental note, right? This guy here, this is our ATEM desk, mixing desk, to go with the HD Constellation HD. Yep. So the Constellation HD is actually what has all the power into it. This is just basically a overpriced keyboard.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the sales guy told me. Because you could also actually use the software. You don't even need this. But why do people buy this?
To feel it.
To feel it, right? Big broadcasters doing concerts, which we do a lot of, doing live events, being able to have that fader and having all the buses at your fingertips is what makes this so special. And it's what makes this different than this guy's little brother. Let's look at that. So here's the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. Just look at them side by side. Mm-hmm. And again, what the ATEM Mini is missing, because I very well could have just used an ATEM Mini if I wanted to, but it's missing this feel of being able to adjust everything right as you go. That live feel of being able to time when you're making a fade with the music, that extra control that the live directors, this is what we want to use. We want to have our hands on this all the time and being able to dial everything in. And you have that in here.
Yes.
With this guy here, you got to use the software to access most things. I'm going to take this one away real quick. And Jake, you got to tell me, bud.
Yep.
Tell me, now, what is the big difference with what you get in the software here versus what's built in here?
What's built in this software is that you can divide it up and you can have an audio person and somebody doing the controls of the camera and the mixing. You can spread it out, but you have to have a laptop to play with it and do all the settings. This one has everything on this menu button and this button here. So you have all of your settings right in front of you. Everything is at your fingertips and it's very convenient to use as you're mixing. Mm-hmm. If you have to do changes as you go, you can do that and still keep mixing and fading your cameras, just going between the things. So you can do chroma keys, you can do alpha channels, you can do picture-in-pictures on both of them. You have a bigger media store on this one that you can keep the stills ready, but you can have all of your videos and things on your SD card that's right here, built in. So you don't need anything extra.
Can you have things on the SD card and still record to the SD card?
Yes,
that's awesome. So one thing I got to say, so this has a bigger store for stills, but this actually can store your media effects.
Yes, 8 media effects saves.
Yeah, so when I bought that other one, And when I bought the Constellation HD, I was fighting with our accounting department on whether or not I could have so many Emmys and mini Emmys, because that's where the price point was, whether I could have 2 Emmys or 4 Emmys.
Yep.
But here I got 8 Emmy stores here.
Yeah. So if you have somebody calling in and you want your picture-in-picture set at the exact right spot, maybe that's a number 2. Boom. And it's right there.
Another thing is if you're going show to show, like on that big switcher, on that big broadcast switcher, the original challenge that we had, and now we found ways around that, but the original challenge was if we were going from our we do a live prayer show where we, talk to people that can call in. And then we go into another program directly after that, or we used to have a show where the owner of the channel would do 15-minute talk on Monday and then go straight into this prayer show. And then what would end up happening is you'd have to have whatever graphics you had set up for the first show had to be taken away and the new graphics loaded in the commercial break between the first show and the second show. So you had like a minute, 2 minutes to wipe and load the next show's graphics because you didn't have that many stores. With this, you can actually just go, oh, okay, so first show's stores are 1 to 3. The second show's stores are, 4 to 6.
Yep.
And you have room for another show afterwards. Don't tell my boss.
Cute.
No, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And this guy, he does actually come with BNC SDI inputs.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so does the A10 Mini series.
So does the A10 Mini
so we can
series.
have SDIs instead.
Yeah. So again, very powerful to be able to have those. And you can kind of get away with the same thing on the A10 Mini and the A10 Mini Pro, but you got to use the software and you got to have that capacity in your computer directly.
Yes, and have somebody to know how to do it because it is more cumbersome. It's more pages of settings to look through and get used to.
Yeah.
This one is very convenient.
Yeah. So again, I love as somebody who's been mixing, I've been doing directing, switching, concerts, sports, you name it, for the better part of 20 years now. And this is such an exciting tool. And it feels nice too. I love the buttons.
Yes,
this feels so much,
word.
they feel so much softer than his. I don't want to down on the A10. The biggest strength of the Blackmagic universe is if you have Blackmagic cameras, you can actually have remote control. You have the control over the color, the aperture.
Yeah.
But I guess you could do ISO too. It's been a while since I used it, but you have tally through it if you have the Blackmagic cameras. You also can record with the ISO. You can record all the tracks straight to the hard drive.
And get a multi-channel DaVinci project out of it too.
And we've had some issues with the hard drives because even with the recommended ones, they have not always worked.
No, sometimes they failed, sometimes they didn't want to recognize, and then you're sitting there dead in the water.
Yeah.
This one has an SD card record module as well.
And what size records can you do? Like a card?
I haven't tried any huge ones. I had 128 was I got, so that worked.
And you got a whole concert out of that hour concert yesterday?
Yeah, hour and something, and that was like 20 gigs something.
So you get plenty of room on that.
Oh yeah.
Again, both of these are only HD. They're 1080 by
It's
1920.
1080p, 60 frames.
So, but again, that being said about having all that power with Blackmagic cameras, we have my kit, which is mostly Canons and a couple of Sonys. We have all the broadcast cameras, but we also have Blackmagic 6K Pros.
Yep.
And even though we have the Blackmagic 6K Pros, when we started using the YOLO boxes, this kind of went to the side because of the strength of the streaming. And before we get too much into the YOLO boxes, so just to say that setting the color and having that remote control was not as important to me as being able to have as big control over the streaming, which you do have in this.
Yes, 3 streams you can set up at the same time.
Yeah.
This one has 1, unless you buy extra Blackmagic stuff. But it's really easy to set. You set up your Facebook, your YouTube, and you can set go live YouTube, go live Facebook, and you have a little live stream button right there, straight out.
So you have 2 outputs, HDMI.
Yep.
You have 4 inputs.
Yes.
On this guy here, you often have to sacrifice one of those inputs if you want to bring in clips for example, from the computer.
Yeah.
But this, you have the clips that can be stored on the SD card.
Yes, very convenient. You just
So you don't have to sacrifice a camera input
no,
for that.
no.
So, I mean, I think that that's an incredible strength. Before we go too far, because I think that we could spend all day looking at these, and definitely if you guys want us to, we can plug in and look at certain features. I really felt that this is not convenient for you to understand the differences between these machines by having us set them up and be like, mine can do this, mine can do that.
Unless you want
It would be a 2-hour video.
Yeah, feature film.
So if there's something specific you want, go ahead, drop it in the comments, and we'll try to do a demo of just how that one versus this one sets up.
Yep.
That feature. But I think it's more convenient for you to hear what the differences are.
Yep.
YOLO box. So we've been using these YOLO boxes for a while now. We have both the new one, the InStream, and the YOLO Box Pro. And what makes these guys different? I kind of feel like once the ATEM came along, even though we were using Blackmagic cameras, it was still more convenient for us to use the YOLO boxes and just set the color balance in the cameras and set the irises before we go live, or using the...
And then lighting it properly.
But using the Hollyland, for example, to communicate to our cameraman via intercom to adjust this or that, if necessary, because of the powerful and speediness of these machines to get on, the powerfulness, the power of getting online with these guys so fast.
Yeah, they're extreme streamers. So it's so easy to set up streams and just go live on Facebook and everything. And you might see right now they're on and there's no cables. They have built-in battery.
And for me, the strength of them is being able to send these guys out specifically with content creators for our Instagram or for our social media stuff or for news hits to the TV channel we work with.
Yep.
These are amazing just to send out in the field with a guy with the cameras, with the battery on the camera, right? They can just take a hit and live send it straight to our live broadcast. So we could be talking to our CEO while we're live in studio and he's up in Stockholm, for example, if he has one of these with him and a camera.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Also because you can set RTMPs straight specifically for us as well.
Yeah, exactly. We have our very own TV RTMP already in here. But these are in effect mixers as well.
Yep.
You miss that controlling thing. So if I was going to go today and do a concert, I'd prefer having a machine like this than a machine like this.
Yes.
This has a lot more graphics in it. So again, if I'm going to do like a quick sporting event, I might prefer to take this.
Yeah.
And it has the replay in it as well.
It has replay in it and it has scoreboards in it and all that.
Yeah, so this is terrific.
Yep.
It also only has 3 cameras in though.
3 HDMIs and you can have a
3
USB
HDMIs.
camera if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. All of them take audio in through their HDMIs,
Yes,
through the
plus-
cameras.
plus 2.
Plus 2
3.5 millimeter
3.5 millimeter.
stereo jacks.
That's right. Thank you, Jake.
Did the thing.
This guy also, both of these record to SD cards.
Yep.
And both of them also carry clips and videos and media store on the SD cards the same as this guy does.
Yes, exactly.
So this machine, the G-Stream, is kind of like a hybrid between the ATEM and the YOLO box.
YOLO box family, yeah.
Because you can use him out in the field so long as you have a network connection of some sort.
And a
to
power
him.
source.
And a power source. You can actually go anywhere. This one I could be in the middle of nowhere so long as I have 3G or 5G.
Yeah.
Anywhere in
Because it has a
between.
SIM card in it, then it has Wi-Fi.
Exactly. I can broadcast from anywheres.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of a difference with them. These guys have great graphics capabilities, great media stores, and through the website you can actually have a lot more graphics.
Yeah, more graphics and a protected stream. Like you stream up to them, they guarantee
That's
a
right.
solid stream to you, to your receiver. These ones is you shoot what you get, and what gets there gets there.
Yeah, just to clarify, in the TV business, when we have news clips coming, we try to get guaranteed bit streamed. We've been doing this for decades. I used to work with a company called File Catalyst, is it?
One of them, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And what it does is it takes the upload as a whole package guarantees the package delivery and pushes it through with their own bandwidth to us. And that's what these guys do as well.
Yep.
This guy doesn't do that, but again, he's all efficient. You don't need a computer. You don't need to take all the extra stuff with you. You just need power and network. So maybe a 4G router with you or something like that, which you can buy at Best Buy.
And a screen.
And a screen. And some cameras.
Cameras would help.
Preferably.
Yeah.
We've actually, just final story, we've actually been using the YOLO box into the Osee stream because we could do extra sources, live sources. This just came up with a cool update we're going to talk about later with the iPhone being able to go straight into it. So you could actually do a lot if you have both. Yeah. I would buy both if I had all the money. Now, you did a concert we did a concert in the fall with him.
Yep.
Christmas time, we did Christmas concert with the YOLO Box Pro. Yep. And you just did yesterday a concert with this guy.
Yes.
What was the feel difference?
Prolonged, anything longer than a short concert, I would definitely choose this one every time. Just because I can sit there, I can feel the buttons, I can look up, and I can fade. So I can go and have a very creative kind of a feel to it. I can pick my preview and then fade over, preview, fade over, and such. This one is a bit more cumbersome to use. You have to set everything up and do it. It can do it, of course. So this one is my least choice. But otherwise, it is always between the YOLO box and the Osee, because the YOLO box can do all of the graphics, all of the fun things. It's just that it's a touch screen when you use it. So you have to look at it so you don't miss or push something else.
Actually, that's a very good point too, because when you're really a real director,
for realsies,
when you're a for realsies director, you don't have time. It's just like somebody who's good at typing. You don't have time to go 3's live.
Oh, I missed it.
No, like I never did. I had always my eyes up on the cameras and on the preview and program screen. Always. I never looked down. You have a familiarity with the keyboard. The controls that you have on here with the effects and everything too, that's all part of it. Being able to grab that at a minute's notice. Again, the strength to this is you don't need a screen, you don't need a power supply or anything like that. You just run with it. I'm really impressed with all of these tools, don't get me wrong. Again, coming from this. I'm just happy.
Which was small at its time, mind you.
Yeah, again, that was the compact version for the longest time. And then the Sony Anycast came out, but that's a different history video. Guys, like and subscribe. Let us know if there's something specific you want us to test out between these 3.5 units, and we gladly will do it. I just got to say, I really am impressed with all of them, but this is something special, and I think it's different than this. I think it's a hybrid between these two.
Yes, for a lesser price.
For a lesser price. Yeah, we didn't talk about price. This is going to be competitive more with the ATEM lineup.
Yeah, ATEM Mini.
Than with the YOLO boxes.
Yeah.
Again, YOLO box is offering a lot of power for what they're doing, but it's a different product.
Yes.
This is for doing a concert. This is for doing some
actual mixing.
Actual mixing. And I love that they have the SDI version, because again, I'll be able to use that with my own broadcast cameras. Yeah. So, guys, like and subscribe, and check these products out. When the Osee comes out, the GoStream deck,
yes,
you're gonna take a look at it, because it's worth checking out, especially if you're going to be doing some things. Big opportunity for people who want to take their kids' baseball team or hockey team to the next level, church concerts, anything like that you guys want to get out. It takes all cameras that have HDMI to it. Yep. They all do. But excellent product. They sent us this to test.
Yep.
YOLObox sent us these to test.
Yes.
Blackmagic never sends me anything but bills. Am I allowed to say that? I'm sorry, Blackmagic. You know it's true. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.